Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are going to try a little new game today. It's called Planet Zoo, as you can see. A little different something. I guess kind of a simulation, Sims. I don't know. Something. Anyway, um, just got the game. It just came out today. And we're going to just go through it. If you want to view all this for the first time on your own, then you probably don't need to watch this playthrough series, or at least play first and then come back and watch it. That's probably the better thing to do, right? Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna do first steps here. I don't know what this is all about. Again, you know as much as I do.
Yep.
So I guess this is just tips and tricks. Renovate and rename after its purchase by Bernard Goodwin in the 1980s. Goodwin House has since become one of the most respected zoos in the country. More recently, it has undergone a further renovation to update many of the habitats and facilities, but due to various issues, the work hasn't quite been completed, which is where you come in. So I guess the renovations hadn't been complete, so we're gonna do that, and it's gonna show us how to do it. So let's jump in and learn. This little playthrough, I'm gonna try to keep it down to maybe 30 minutes per episode, maybe 20. I don't know. I'll figure that out. We'll see how quickly this plays out.
Ah, heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Hopefully, she'll tell us what to do. Yeah, just more reading
Hello
though.
there.
Oh,
From
there
that
we
rosy,
go.
fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Okay. Mm, um, I guess I could replay this, right? Or look at this. Explore the locate the grizzly bear. Yeah, located inner grizzly bear animal camera. Locate the West African lion habitat. Locate the empty habitat. Okay, so we located it, and we can call things. Keeper, vet, mechanic. Barrier status, all good. Terrain, environment, animals. Maybe here. Okay, no. Okay. Maintenance, maybe. Uh, Save as blueprint. Let's go back to overview. Little controls down here. Betting. No, that's kind of probably like a record or something. Let's fly around.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again,
Okay.
given a chance, I think a lot of people would do
We're getting
that
nice
too.
and close. Oh, look
Select one of
at
the
that.
bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Alright, Zachary, grizzly bear.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare
You almost
today
sit in
as we
it.
go through your
That's great.
objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
Alright, well, why don't we?
See now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it. Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Let's exit out of that. Okay.
Panthera leo leo, or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
Let's look at this first. I want to get a... Oh, yeah. Man, these animals like to go to the bathroom quite often, don't they? It's like he's stuck on the rock. Okay. Alright, we gotta move on. Because I gotta get to playing. The empty one. Oh, that would be right here. And let me guess, we're gonna
As
place
you can
some
see,
animals.
It's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well,
An animal?
two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Visiting player alerts. I don't know about all that. What did she just say? Oh, animal trading.
There
Alright.
we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs
What
for our
dogs?
zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how
See
it
if I can
works.
click both.
The last thing I need is you accidentally
No.
ordering a dozen elephants.
Alright, let's adopt that. Let's
When
adopt
you
that.
adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Alright. So, call me crazy. Right here? Yes, okay. Alright. that. Let's move there and move
When you ask
and
for
there.
an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat.
Wonder if you can watch that.
I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, little bitty building.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember.
Enrichment.
You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
Nutrition.
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each
Okay.
animal requires a
Habitat.
different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Okay. Food trough small. Water bowl small. Where we're gonna put these bad boys. So I can exhibit. Oh yeah. Gotta put it here. Yeah.
Animals
There.
also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in.
Oh yeah,
That
why not?
bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Okay. Yeah, that seems fun. I guess the red can't place. We're gonna go for right
Oh,
there.
nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a feral state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Okay. We'll see the eating mechanics. That's not too bad. It's the adult 49-year-old. Hungry, thirsty, now he's thirsty. Okay. Let's catch up with our whatever. Have to get used to that.
Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
I bet there's like a hotkey.
That's more like it. A quick break.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Alright. Probably going to show us where to put it too. Maybe? Or we're just going to Oh, it snaps automatically. That's awesome. We're gonna go right here.
Right. Let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Uh, we're gonna do the. We're gonna try to do the length. There we go.
Good work! Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier so the guests can see in.
Let's see. Let's go there. Um,
There we go. Adding in more windows gives
I'd have never
guests
figured
even
that
more
out.
opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put
okay.
them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them. Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should click the play button. After all, if the game is paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh?
Okay.
By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster.
Yeah.
It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to a habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. Alright, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them in here.
4.
wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add
Yep.
a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Yep. Already figured that out before. And I'll displaces the grass on its own. Um, what did I just select? Slow feeder. Gotcha. There they go. Let's rotate this if we can. And I think it is new. Let's see. Object placement controls. Okay, Z plus that. Okay, gotcha. Alright. I see. Gotcha. So it's hold Z and just move your mouse kind of left and right. That sucked. Can you move? Yep. Alright. That's pretty cool. Okay. I'm not sure if I can remember what she said, but I think we get the gist of it. So we did a little tutorial. I mean, I guess you could play in this one for a while. But we're probably not going to. Let's take a look at some of these animals. Some of these pins. I'm kind of curious to see how they work. Or how they look. What are these? Oh, monkeys. Whatever they are. Something. Yeah. Well, not monkey. Well, I guess they probably are some family of. But anyway, who knows? Leave in the comment if you know. Let me know. Let's see what we got here. Oh, a turtle. Got it. Okay. See if I can find the entrance real quick. I guess it's this building here, so yeah. Okay, you probably start out with like certain paths, certain buildings, but we're gonna find out. But you're gonna have to wait. Come back to part 2. All right, let's leave it with a nice little view. Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. Alright, thanks for watching. Come back and catch the playthrough part 2. Coming up right now. Coming up next.